Internships. That might be a dirty word. What? Hey everybody, it's Dr. Leah with another episode of And I Should Care Because, the podcast where we talk about higher education policy changes and I help you navigate those changes one news article at a time. Don't forget to look in the description box to look at the article that I'm referencing. I always put at least one article, sometimes there's more than one. It's not necessarily a retelling of the story, but more like, hey, this thing happened and this is my take on it, or this is what you should be aware of, this is what you should think about. But always read for yourself. Alright, without further ado, what are we talking about today? Internships. That might be a dirty word. What? I know. Because I probably said it in an episode already. Get an internship. Do something. Get some experience. And that's not wrong or bad advice. But we don't talk about all of the details about getting an internship and what it really means. Because quite honestly, it oftentimes means sacrifice. I'll tell you why. So this this podcast is loosely based on the fact that the Biden administration has very recently said, hey, we're going to pay our White House interns. And there weren't a whole lot of people jumping up and down to be like, yay, because why aren't people getting paid for work that they do? Like, isn't that usually how it works? You go, you spend some hours doing things people ask you to do, and then you get compensated with a paycheck to do all of the things. But with an internship, oftentimes it's, well, you're getting experience. So you don't get money, so bye. Like, that's what a lot of internships are. It's unpaid. And to me, unpaid is a dirty word because I'm spending my time and my effort and my resources to get ready and be presentable, to get there on time, which means early. And I'm doing all that you ask me to do. I'm asking questions. I'm contributing. I'm contributing to your business, to your company, making money or, whatever it is. And I don't get paid for that. Right. So that's not okay. Now, that's not to say that there are no paid internships. There are. And I think over the years, slowly but surely, there have been more and more paid internship programs and paid intern positions. But there's still some industries that are good luck, when it comes to getting a paid internship. So in my field, like chemistry, biochemistry, doing research is your internship, right? So you can do that at your institution, either by doing like an honors project or working with a professor and just being like, I want to do independent research, getting course credit for that, or you can get paid by the hour to be like a lab tech or something like that. So there's ways to kind of get something out of it. If you want the course credit, you can, but if you need some dollars in your pocket and you're like, look, it's either do this and get paid or I have to go work, then try to do something that, will pay you to progress your career, right? But in other fields, it ain't the same. So I recognize that. And it is a privilege to know that I can, as a student, I was able to work as a lab tech. I was able to work in people's labs and stuff. And I had work study funds. So I could be like, hey, can I work in your lab? Because I got work study. So you don't even got to pay me out of your own, lab till. You can just sign off on my hours and then I get paid. So that is a tip. If you're trying to do research and the person's like, well, I don't have any money to pay you, you could be like, I got work study though, because it works. Anywho, back to the topic at hand. Unpaid internships are an abomination, and here's why. Because oftentimes you have to choose between doing that internship or working a job that's going to pay you so that you can feed yourself, put clothes on your back, and pay your rent. And that's just not fair because it gives other people access to internships who can afford to not work, who can afford the pleasures of just being like, well, I'm just going to go here and do this internship and hang around and shake hands and meet people and expand my network, and all my expenses are covered. So you either have to come from a background where you're financially stable enough to do that, or you have to make some major sacrifices and say, well, I will sell my car. Or, like something else like, well, maybe I'll just get two roommates in my one bedroom apartment. Like, that's not okay. You shouldn't be forced into doing that just so that you can get experience and make, friends in higher places to set yourself up for success after you graduate school. But oftentimes, people who are, financially more well off have these opportunities and they don't even necessarily have to go through the college to get them because their parents or their aunt, their uncle, somebody got the hookup and it's like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, okay, well, I'll call so and so, I'll text so and see if you can go and chill with them, see if you can go talk to them, go see if you can hang out with them for a day or whatever it is. Set up some kind of internship, set up some kind of paid little something something, and you can be you know, their assistant. Like, all people don't have those types of connections, but you shouldn't be penalized for not having those connections on your own. I think that everyone should be given the opportunity to make those connections. And there's so many talented folks who have to choose between taking care of themselves, their families, and, succeeding in the workplace after they graduate. So it's really unfair. And the fact that we should have paid internships be a thing, like forever, for everything, but we don't. Companies can totally afford it. This is very much a unique problem to specific countries, and the US is one of them, unfortunately. So, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you're looking for an internship, a lot of them are unpaid. I'm not going to leave it there, though, because that would just be kind of trash. Be like, well, it's unpaid. Oh, well, good luck. Make it a great day. Like that. That would be awful. But here's some tips for what you can do to try to make your own paid internship or to at least make things work. So, one, if you can, just find one that's paid, right? That's the easiest thing to do. Find one that's paid. If you can't do that, then see if you can do something on campus, like I said before. And if you have work study through your financial aid, see if you can have your work study funds paid to you in exchange for doing work in a lab or being someone's assistant or doing whatever it is. See if that could work. You would be surprised. And it may not always be like the professor or whoever may not always know how to do that, but say like, are you willing to explore this option with me? Because I need to get paid for the time that I'm spending doing this because I need to eat. I need to buy, all of the things that I need to be successful in school. And I can't afford to just do an internship without a paycheck. Be honest. Be upfront and say, look, I want to do this, but I also have basic needs that I have to meet. And it's really difficult for someone to be like, oh, you need to eat? How dare you? Like, if somebody says that, you don't want to work with them anyway, right? So try to use work study funds if you have work study. If you don't, then obviously this doesn't apply to you. But if you do, see if there's a way for you to get paid to work alongside someone and, keep it on campus so that it's easier so you can just kind of do stuff between classes and whatnot. So that's another tip. What else can you do, though? Let's say that there isn't anything on campus that you can do that fits your field and you want to have some experience, but you need to work. You need some money so that you can keep things going. Well, the first thing is, instead of applying for an internship, you could also apply for an entry level position. Now, yeah, a lot of times it will say, well, you need a college degree, you need this experience, you need that experience, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't hurt to just take a stab at it, right? If you're going to be working, try to make your work complement what you want to do after you graduate. There's no harm in applying to entry level positions and just shooting your shot. You may not get there, but you can at least apply. And if there's someone to contact about the position, which more and more people are kind of like, don't at me, don't email me about stuff. But sometimes there's an email you can email someone that's on the search committee or the hiring committee or whatever, and you can just say, hey, look, I'm a college student and I know I didn't get the position, but I'm trying to get my foot in the door. I just can't afford to not work or to not, get a paycheck and do this. So is there any kind of part-time something that I can do for this amount of time and get paid to do so? This is what I can do. This is the experience that I have. I've taken these classes, and what can you do for me? If you're upfront and honest, you never know where you'll go. And sometimes people are just so taken aback when people are honest about what they're trying to do and where they're trying to go, that they're more willing to help you because they're like, that was all right. That was all right. And then they try to help you out. Or if they don't have anything, they may know someone else to send you to. And I know that sometimes that's frustrating because it's like you feel like you're going, you're chasing an animal or something that's just really fast. That's a very strange analogy. But it's like a zigzaggy path, and it's hard to get through. Sometimes it's hard to navigate. Be jumping over fences, going through bushes. It's not fun. It's not for the faint of heart. But if it's an experience that you really want and you're really trying to get a paycheck along with it to make the stars align, then you may have to put in some extra work to make that happen. Don't get discouraged if the answer is no. If you get a bunch of no's, that's okay. Just keep trying. You can also ask your professors. So this is where having a network on campus really helps, because so you could go to your career center, right? Which I haven't even mentioned that yet. But going to the career center is helpful because you can get, help from them. There's usually some kind of platform that you can sign up and use to see all the internships and stuff. And that's helpful. But outside of that, we're talking about, thinking outside of the box. Go to professors that that are in the industry or related to the industry that you're trying to break into and see who they know. But you only can really do that if they know who you are first. So if you're a junior and you've never gone to office hours, but you're asking Professor such and such, can you hook me up? They're going to look at you like, who are you again? I don't know you. Why am I going to hook you up? Why should I co-sign on your capabilities and your talents and your motivation and determination when I don't know your name? Don't let that be you. Don't fall into that trap, because as you move forward, you will always need letters of recommendation. You will always need access to networks. Always, always, always. So make sure that you are connecting with professors and other people in places that are higher than yours so that you can get access to the people they know. One of the myths about college is that, oh, well, you just go, you do well in your classes and everything will be fine. It won't be. College isn't just about going to class. College is about making a network. And if you don't make that network, you're not getting the most out of school, especially when it comes to setting yourself up career-wise after you graduate. So, recap, because we kind of went all over the place a little bit. We're talking about talking to professors and other people on campus that are connected to what it is that you want to do. Do not let there's a little spider right here. Okay. So let's try that again. Go to professors, go to other people on campus, and see what it is that they have for you. It could be a connection. It could be, oh yeah, so I know so and so who's doing this or that and the third. You never know. But if the professor doesn't know you, they're going to be less willing to work with you because they don't want to co-sign on you doing well without actually knowing you and your character. And that's fair. That's absolutely fair. So set yourself up for success by actually getting to know people and going to office hours, saying hello, answering questions in class, asking questions in class. Be that person. Be that person. Because that person going to get a job afterwards. That person is going to grad school. That person is going to professional school because they're connected. And that's really the goal of an internship. The experience is helpful, right? But let's be honest. Some internships, it's like, hey, get my coffee. Okay. I could work at Starbucks and get paid to get your coffee. Why am I doing this for free? So, as long as it's an internship that actually allows you to do valuable work and contribute, then it's definitely worthwhile, right? It's experience, and it's also building your network outside of the walls of your campus. Because while your campus is helpful, don't get me wrong, and there are ways to connect to people outside of your campus, you need to make those solid connections and stay in touch. That's one thing that they don't tell you. When you do an internship, it's like, okay, we did it. Bye. Don't do that. Don't just ghost. Keep in touch. The person that you work directly with, keep in touch. Drop them a line every now and again. If you have their number, send them a text. Whatever the relationship is, just to be like, hey, how's it going? This is what's going on with me. We worked on this one thing together, and I didn't get to see it all the way through, but how is this project going? What's the next step? What's changed? Can we talk it out? Talk about it. Can we chop it up? Like, stay connected. Don't just do it and then leave. Stay connected, because that builds your resume and it builds the people in your network that are willing to vouch for you. So don't just show up for the 4 months or however long for the summer and then dip. Worst thing you can do. Maybe not the worst thing, but it is a bad thing to do. At least you have it on your resume, but you don't want to be forgettable. And they, again, when you're like, hey, can I have a letter of recommendation or something? And they be like, who you? You did something here? Okay. No, still doesn't ring a bell. Like, you don't want to be, you don't want to fall into that trap. Don't do it. So make sure that you actually stay connected with the people that you're working with an internship. All right. So, a little bit of bad news with internships. A lot of them are unpaid. But I still think that there's value in doing an internship. Sometimes you just have to be creative in how you make that opportunity for yourself and how you still get paid to do it. So, just because it doesn't exist doesn't mean that it won't exist for you. You have to sometimes make things. And since change can take a long time when it comes to big institutions, you have to exact your own change. And that's okay. It's more than okay. It's perfectly fine. It's great. It helps you, and it helps you to help someone else because you can share your experiences. So share your experiences in the comments about internships, whether it's research or maybe journalism or whatever it is, fashion, there's so many different areas that you can do an internship in. Just what did you do, or what are you looking to do? How did you figure it out? Was it paid? Was it unpaid? What's your story? Did you stay connected? Did you get a job there afterwards? What happened? So hit me up in the comments, hit me up on Twitter, and let me know what's going on with these internships. With that, make it a great day. I hope that you can make it a great day for yourself and for someone else. I'll see you back here soon. Bye.